It's good. It's Skano from the gutter gutter. So telling on the dead, is that off code or is that really just a master play? Well, first of all, I think you need to consider perspective you coming from. If you are the individual looking at life in prison, I think any play that's on the table, you know, short of selling your soul, is probably gonna be looking like a viable option. So it's always gonna be a side, particularly, you know, the old school gangsters who feel like telling is telling, and technically it is still snitching. I guess, even though nobody is going to prison. See, that's where it's a gray area. You know, from the from looking at it from the standpoint of the traditional snitch code, is telling some information on somebody that can get them locked up, either because you in a jam or whether they ops. You know, that is a thing too. People do tell on the ops. And that's been going on for years. That's been justified too. So it's certain demographics of the streets who feel like shit telling on the ops is fair play. You know what I'm saying? Long as it's not somebody that, is in your circle. You know. So that's what I'm saying. There is gray area, and basically, which means there is no code. There is no code in the streets. The only code is do whatever you got to do to survive, or you know, push your agenda. So all this, mythology about the code, this, the code, that. Now, that being said, solid individuals, regardless whether you in the streets or not, that's just like if you are working corporate and you know someone in the company that is embezzling, or, you know, should you point that out? You know, is that gonna gain you favor with the you know what I'm saying? The powers that be in that corporation. You would think so, right? So it's the right thing to do, right? You know? But of course, we say in the streets is some code you don't tell, even though everything else is on the table: murder, rape, extortion, robbery, you name it. Everything else is on the table, but not telling. Oh, because, gangsters got a code, you know, which a lot of them, do. All street dudes are not grimy snake individuals, but most of them, yeah, from my experience. So that Terrence Gangster Williams, is he the forefather of Telling on the Dead? Because I don't recall no one else before him doing that. Like, you know what I'm saying? I know somebody else probably has, but I'm saying, like, he's the first, known gangster, like legendary gangster, that is known for telling on the dead. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and he, for all intents and purposes, aside from that, is considered, solid. You know what I'm saying? Thorough. So, never known for telling on no one living. So, you know what I'm saying? It's like, but like I said, it's always going to be a gray area. It's always going to be people on one side that feel like, look, telling is telling. Whether you told on somebody that's living, whether you told on somebody that's dead, is irrelevant. But like I said, there is a gray area, because who's going to prison behind me telling on somebody that's dead? You know what I'm saying? To get me out of life in prison of 30, 40 years, the fuck is you talking about? You know what I'm saying? So I understand that logic. Besides, like I said, we talking about gangsters. We talking about killers. We talking about niggas who probably really don't have much of moral integrity to begin with. So why in the fuck would the, why would niggas think twice about telling on they ops, let alone somebody that's dead, man? So, you know what I'm saying? Would I do it? No. But that's easy for me to say standing here, ain't it? You know what I'm saying? But I know who I am as a person. But like I said, life in prison, after you sitting in that bitch for about 10, 15 years and your kids growing old and you like, yeah, shit, a lot of shit is on the table, ain't it? So at the end of the day, you know, let's not sit here and act like it's really some honor and code about the streets anyway. So I really don't think nobody give a fuck about, you know what I'm saying, except the people that it would involve or affect. But outside of that, we already see nobody really care about snitching, man, except, certain, demographics of the gangster community or whatever you want to call this shit. It's it's still one of those things where it's like, nah, it is some niggas that still stick to us to the code. But like I said, man, from the shit that I done seen that goes on in the streets, it really is no code that exists, man, other than, like I said, dog eat dog, and that's pretty much all to it, man. It is what it is, man. 216 Skano, standing on.